Welcome back. We are back again, Vigo's Court, for another conference championship. I'm your judge, Judge Vader, and joining me are Counselor Shep and Counselor Q.
What it do? What it do? We've got Demise and Demice. Figure out which one was which. How you feeling tonight, Shep? You ready to figure out who it is? It's going to be moving on to face Death Wish.
I am feeling fantastic. I am really excited for this game. I think I've been looking forward to this one since yesterday, and I'm even more excited knowing that whoever wins here is going to be facing off against Death Wish in our finals next week. So really excited to get this show on the road and see what our teams have in store for us today.
Yeah, I'm ready to see what they have in store as well, and trying to figure out if our survivors or killer invited me to the right lobby. Everybody in here right now is a survivor, and
I mean, they technically all survive at some point, right?
well, I mean, yeah, but no, like they're all survivors. Also,
French fries, the killer is French fry in there.
there's no French fry here, but also I've heard he's a killer, but there's somebody I don't recognize. They changed their name to Dead Inside, and I just don't know who they are.
It's okay. We all feel a little dead inside from time to time. It's fine. We're here for you. If you need someone to cry with, I can help find you somebody.
I mean, we are. If you watch the last game, Shep, what was it we were crying about? I just remember I asked you what we would do, and you said cry. So
I think you guys were asking me if I was in the position where I had to pick a killer to try to come back with. What would I pick, or what would I do? And I was like, the follow-up of Blight. The follow-up of Blight with no.
that's right. Follow up with that amazing Blight.
Cry. So.
Yeah. So I mean, we can do it. You know, we can cry. Looks like French fry is here now. It looks like Dead Inside might have been Fry. And so yeah, now it says now his name is Fry but hungover. So we still have French fry. He just might be a little hungover.
So would that be a soggy fry?
Oh God, I don't want to think about soggy fries, man. Like, I'm not a fan of soggy fries.
I mean, a fry that's, actually, I'm not even. I
Yeah.
started to do it, and then you know what? I'm not. I can't.
I feel like I'm like one thread that's trying to hold together like the fragile fabric of sanity we have going on here, and I'm just like straining so hard.
I'm
Ever
struggling
had
with
those moments where it's like there's someone above you and you're watching, you're just like, no, don't do that. Just stop.
Yes, actually, right now.
As somebody who plays The Sims rather avidly.
My goodness, that was a whole different kind of out of body experience where I'm just like, you can respond to that. No, you can't respond. Don't respond to that.
Don't respond.
No,
to it.
seriously, think about what you're doing, Vader. Think. All right, we're good. We're contained. So yeah, definitely though, it should be interesting to see who they bring, and we'll see if they do mirror matches, kind of like what we saw from every team that's faced Death Wish. I don't expect it, but you know,
we know
it's possible.
Demise won't be bringing Blight, right? Because they used that on Thursday. I don't know if I ever heard whoever they ended up using for like the burn pick, because like we saw Death Wish do earlier, they did come to a decision after 3 trials. So I don't know who they ended up using for like their burn pick, but we do know that like Blight isn't available.
I mean, that's true. That's true. But I mean, versus Demise, I mean, I would have liked to have my Blight, especially can't bring Nurse. I mean, I don't know. That's a toughie, but let's go ahead and discuss what map we're going to before we start talking about really who we would bring. So for sure, guys, we are going to we're going to the Rancid Abattoir, and so definitely Cold Wind Farm, It's a smaller map, honestly. It's just that main building it's quite an obstacle. There's a lot of walking around to get through it, unfortunately, because of those little fencings and things. But not a bad map. Maybe you don't regret not having Blight here. I think that we might see like an Executioner, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like the Executioner is one of the ones that first pops off to me that might be a good pick here, especially, with the being able to work around the big building with your M2 power. But I don't know. I mean, Shep, do you feel like Executioner for either of these teams is like strong enough where you're like, you know what though, I'm gonna use them to make sure I'm putting my best foot forward against Demise, or I'm gonna use the Executioner to put my best foot forward against Demice.
I think if that's one of the first two killers we see in this trial, that's probably a safe time to play that. But I definitely don't expect to see that in our third or fourth trial. Honestly, like, it just like Pyramid Head is good, right? But he's only so good.
Yeah, I don't see him as like a clutch out to move to the finals sort of killer, right? Like, right, Vader?
I mean, honestly, I would agree with you guys. I'm just trying to think of who you bring on Rancid, and like when you think about maybe they could. I mean, they have Spirit on the table, right? They could bring Spirit. Not a bad pick in the corn. Honestly, that's probably your highest tier pick that you have right now. But then who else are you bringing? Are you bringing Nemi? Are you bringing Pyramid Head? Are you bringing Plague? Like, what's the play, right? Like, I don't think that I'm bringing Plague necessarily on this map.
No, but I think Huntress gives you some availability, because if you talk about once you get around the main building, you have if you're looking at main as 12, you have a jungle gym at both 1 and then an 11, but then you get like 2 more jungle gyms. Other than that, you're kind of talking about a lot of area that you can still apply damage down, whether it be at ranged or working around some of those like mid tiles.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be, but I think the struggle there for sure is the fact that, like, yeah, you could try to like hit them at range. Corn blindness is a thing, right? You can't forget about corn blindness. Definitely, these survivors also on both sides have really proven that they know when to rotate. They know like where to go, how to chain their loops. It's going to be tough whoever you use, but I think Huntress, there are enough areas where you don't feel confident in the throw to not bring her, if that makes sense. Nemi, though, I definitely could see, but we do see all of the offerings we're supposed to see. So let's go ahead and review how our killers are scoring points here. For sure, you will notice that the killers are scoring points through those hooks, so they want to make sure they get those downs and to get the survivor on the hook. Progressions are worth 1 point less. Our hooks are backloaded, so that death hook is worth more. 7th and 8th progressions would award you 1 point each to prevent point starving, but a 4K would net you 2 additional points if you do manage to get that. An entity kill such as the endgame collapse will give you the corresponding hook and the progressions, which would net 30 points if you can get the maximum amount of points. Bleed outs would only give you 0 points though, so you don't want to leave your slugs to bleed. Let's go ahead and go into the match though. Shep, Q, take it away.
Thank you guys, and we are stepping back into the fog for match 1, and you called it. It is an executioner.
So is this the part where I say I told you so? I think it is. Hey, I told you so.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's the host, so we can't boot him out, but we can at least mute him and act like we don't hear him. But yeah, you did definitely call it, though, to be fair. And we are going to be seeing, though, taking this chase here at this point, moving towards the jungle gym. We're going to see if we can get the rights of judgment. We are going to miss that, however, and I feel like when we talk about the executioner, since it's not necessarily a hyper mobile killer, this first chase really being important, because you need to start building up the map pressure. And we do see Detective Tap saying, hey, get done, stupid, hitting +10 wood and building distance.
And that is so much distance for tap there. I'm kind of surprised that French Fry isn't going ahead and putting down that Trail of Torment. Ooh. Not quite quick enough on that throw. Tap doing a very good job of kind of positioning himself to not get hit with that M2, but of course we will see him step through that trail there, and that is going to inflict the tormented status, as well as an injury state being taken at that pallet.
Yeah, and we do see, I mean, moving around this portion, don't think we're going to be able to make it towards this pallet. There's a dead hard towards the pallet, but still not enough time to avoid the hit. So this is now going to be detective attack. Going down at this point, seeing generator number 1 popping across the board. About 100 seconds into this trial, keeping in mind it takes about 80 of those to complete a gen. So there's number 2. Honestly, wouldn't even be surprised to see a 3rd gen pop. However, right now, it is worth noting that French Fry did bring in the deadlock, and we are going to be seeing that it come into play here.
We will also see an M2 on the unhook. Unfortunately, unable to hit our rescuer, but we are able to shoot through that BT and get a damage state on Q-top there for the body block.
So we are going to see you at least force the men status, which can delay the game here at least a little bit. As far as for Sleepy J, they're going to have to, still get the men before they also, on top of that, get the heal. But instead, we're just going to see French Fry continue with this tunnel out process. We are noticing this gen here inside of Shack. That bad boy is knocking like a Ford in the middle of the winter. I'll tell you what, that thing's just about ready to go. We are going to continue this chase, though, back into the corn, and even back into this corner where we've kind of already been taking a chase, which I feel like might be allowing our survivors here to just slam out these gens.
Definitely a smart move for Sleepy J here to kind of bring this chase where it is out of the way of everyone else. You've got 1 generator back here, but you also have, this is a tile with a finished generator, so they are out of the way. And we are going to see that Cage of Torment there, which is huge for French Fry, because if he can find where the uncage happens, Cage denies unhooking perks, so there's going to be no BT, no DS. It will be a perfect recipe for a tunnel out.
Yeah, we are going to see the sound notification across the way, knowing that over there is going to be, as far as where the cage is, you talked about, you're not going to have to worry about the borrowed time, no worries as far as decisive strike, as far as that too. We do know that this gen back here is back here along the, it has a little bit of pressure. We also saw a very fast reset, though, I was just realized. And that's now going to be a hit on the tap.
A super quick reset, and we do see on that generator in the Shack that was very far progressed, Deadlock doing its work, and it looks like CPJ is going to take advantage of this window here to, and the fact that probably no one's around, to try to buy some time for himself.
Yeah, and that is going to be generator number 4 popping off into the distance here. Only 2 stages to show for it. There is the tap, though. This would be big. However, that's going to be generator number 5 popping off in the distance. Talk about Demise really just being super efficient onto these gens. That's the down. That's the death hook here. That could be for French right here. We had the sound notification off in the distance. That's going to be that no way out. Only 1 stack of it, though, so that means 24 seconds. Already about 3/4 of the way expired. And, we know that Pyramid Head is known for the cakes, but he can only move so fast.
All that cake is weighing him down just a little bit, and yeah, only 1 stack of that no way out. Not really going to buy him a lot of time to respond to the doors, and with all of our survivors healthy, I don't know if there's a lot that French Fry can do here, but if he guesses right at this door, maybe we can see something.
Yeah, we see that you've been able to find the Quentin here was the one that was sitting on the door. Now also going to be moving through the actual window itself. I thought we had another survivor, though, sitting here, yeah, in the shadows, going to be finishing up the door. The pallet thrown so they can't get there all the way to the door. There's the hit onto Michaela. The door gets open. That's 1, 2, out the door, 3 out the door, and all 3 of those being fresh hooks. That is absolutely just, the way that you want to set pace here, if you're the survivors, to be able to come out here with 3 fresh outs, 19-7 after trial 1.
That is a 12-point difference, which is going to be really nice for Demise going into the back-to-back killer sets.
Yeah, that definitely was a really, really good match for them for sure. I also did we talk about Dead Man Switch? It looked like Dead Man Switch was in there, and for sure I am seeing it there. That for sure could be trying to help them, but unfortunately they didn't have enough pressure to really drive people off of gens. They stayed in chase with Tap pretty much the entire time.
Just don't address it because I don't think it's gonna get charged.
Yeah, I mean, we saw where it was one of those things where I was able to apply maybe a little bit of extra pressure. But I mean, honestly, just with the survivors, I mean, being so efficient and just, I think the other thing was, you know, this, I mean, on the tunnel out process, our survivors just did a very good job of making sure that that process took so long that you can't press the gens there, right?
I mean, yeah, Dead Man Switch, they wouldn't have been able to press the gens if they like got off them for a second, because it would have blocked them, right? It's definitely a good perk, but it's actually not allowed. But luckily, Demise, having seen it didn't really have an effect on their game, elected not to charge the penalty.
Well, I think that kind of goes part with the competitive spirit that we were kind of expecting to see here, right? Like, again, I know some people compare it to like the varsity JV squad. I feel like that really doesn't do justice here. I really do think it's like the brother-sister kind of competitive nature here. We've kind of seen where one sometimes gets the edge over the other in competitive from time, comp DVD from time to time, like outside of egos. So to know that since it didn't play such a big deal, like why take the penalty for it? So you love to kind of see that little bit of an understanding between the two, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it also speaks to the fact that the DB comp community is actually rather close-knit. A lot of people in the community know each other. A lot of them are very good friends, spread out across the different teams. So it's really nice to kind of see like, hey, like, we get it. Accidents happen. We can just move on because it was an honest mistake.
Wait, you mean comp DBD isn't toxic people? Wow, strange.
Honestly, I find pubs to be more toxic than comp. Comp's full of a lot of people that know each other and they're all friends, you know? So
I think the difference that people need to start recognizing is just because somebody is kind of an asshole in a pubs match doesn't mean they are a comp player. Just because they play the game competitively in pubs and want to sweat it out doesn't mean that, one, they would even be good in a comp setting, and two, that they are a comp player. Like, it's two different things. Like, pubs are a different beast. There is no way that you play pubs that translates in a good way to comp. So
all the languages Shep could have spoken, she's out here speaking the truth. It's crazy.
Good Lord.
For some reason, I don't really understand. I don't really understand why people are like, oh, you're a tryhard, you must do comp. Like, no, I'm sorry. They're just a dick. Don't put that on our community.
Yeah, and it sucks that sometimes, too, when you happen to try and, you know, reach out to some of the people who do have some rather decent-sized communities who blur that line, sometimes they worry more about themselves being right than actually doing the right thing for the community. So
did it just get darker in here?
It's a little shady, huh?
Look, I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just being honest here, okay? But anyways, back to the game that we have here. Able to come out in the first place and get 3 fresh outs out the door. Now heading into the back-to-back killer set. Do you think that changes the strategy at all? Seems that you take the big lead, or you just think you keep the pedal down to the metal?
Pedal to the metal. And hey, I want to go ahead and ask, what's the bet on mirror matches here? Because I'm gonna go ahead and say, because we've seen it from a couple other teams, I think we see mirror matches here. You don't think so? Don't think so? No mirror match?
Not with the way that Ultra has been this entire season. In every single interview we've ever had with Demise, they're like, yeah, Ultra just kind of goes out and picks what he wants to play. And I think doing mirror matches doesn't really fit with what we've seen Ultra style to be. That doesn't make sense for him. I mean, but also they're friends. They're all friends, so I could be wrong. It just doesn't really seem like Ultra style.
Wait, I know the answer to this question, so
I
firmly which I know where Jeff sits.
I think that we are gonna see mirror matches. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, mirror match it is.
So
I'm gonna say they do it. Because they're so friendly with each other. I'm gonna say Ultra sees it and goes, "Okay, French Fry, I see you. I'll raise you one executioner and I'll do it better."
you think so? See, for me, I feel like if I'm at least for me, if I'm Demice, it's just like, you know what? I've fought my way here. We had a little bit of a tough middle of the season. We're back on a good strange here. If I need to throw any sort of curveball, it is at the homies that are I would say unfairly kind of seen as like the varsity team. Like, fuck yeah, I'm taking them down. I'm not trying to give them any ideas to like who I'm bringing out here. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I feel like
Little brother needs to win sometimes.
hey, but here's the thing: if you're big bro, right? And I'm the oldest of my siblings, so I can speak from experience here. If I'm big bro, and little bro is looking for a leg up, right, or like looking for a leg up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, hey, I'm already like, I'm smaller than you. Like, I need something. I'll give him that. I'll be like, yo, I have my S tiers ready and I can pull them at any time. But you know what? You choose the killers. I'll run whatever you tell me to run. You want a mirror match? Let's go. So, I don't know. I think that's the way it goes. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe they go ahead and just say, no, we're 100% going for blood and bring out the blight right here. I'm just saying.
Listen, I don't like we have a third party here, and I feel like they're trying to make sure that they're just keeping their opinions to themselves so they can't be accused of leaning one way or the other. Shep, we got to know what's your thoughts?
What? About the mirror match?
Well, I mean, I know
I'm also an older sibling. I'm the oldest of two, and my brother and I are very competitive with one another. And if it was me and my brother in a situation like this, and he was like, "Hey, let's match," I'd be like, "Fuck no."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not going easy on you, and I'm not going to give you a chance. You are going to win this, or you are not. But it's going to be on my terms.
That sounds like you're just not confident enough.
I am an awful older sister.
See, I'm the oldest, and I'm the type that, like, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the leg up, and I'm gonna still beat you, and I'm not gonna let you hear the end of it. Like,
you know what? We don't give pity parties in this house. So
You're right. So hey, let's see what they elect to do. It looks like they're almost readied up. Take a look. Look back there. They're getting readied up. They're almost ready. But if they do elect to go ahead and put pedal to the metal, bring blight, that's tough to face.
What is he gonna bounce off of? Blight on Rancid though? What is he gonna like? He's got those like jungle gyms on the edge of the map and then a dead zone in the middle. Maybe like a barrel.
Hay bales?
Hay bales?
If
he gets collision on the hay bale?
No collision.
Questionable?
Just remind me, this is Demise out on the killer right now, correct?
Yeah, Demise. It's Ultra. Ultra's coming out right now.
Ultra killing, yeah.
This is
Ultra really
this
could bring
is
whoever.
decision.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, and Ultra has shown throughout the season like such a diverse killer pool, and I think that's one of the things that's like tough about when you get to this, like especially at this point, the killer pool's been reset. Like everything is on the everything is on the table right now. So like, I don't know.
I'm doubling
Ultra?
down. Executioner is what we see from Ultra right here.
I think you're wrong. You're so wrong. I honestly, this entire season, Ultra has been Ultra will do what Ultra wants to do, and I mean,
there's a reason he's an MVP candidate, right?
Yeah.
Vader, why would you pick a killer if you know it's not coming?
I think we're not going to see an executioner if that's not what Ultra wants to play. I don't think so.
We're good to switch.
I'm
No,
trying to
honestly-
think. Who do you think then is Ultra going to bring out here, Shep?
So this is the thing with Ultra. It's like every time I've had to cast for a game that he's in, I'm like, I have no fucking idea what he's gonna bring. He brought a Ghostface out once. Like,
It's true.
like he seriously brought a Ghostface. Well, not seriously, but like he did bring a Ghostface out once.
Literally
like,
brought a
Ghostface
Ghostface.
the match. So I'm just like, not figuratively. He didn't talk about it. Like he actually brought Ghostface. So with Ultra, it's like it's a fucking crapshoot. It could literally be he could pull a name out of a hat, and that's what he plays, and he would probably be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard calling, and that's why, like, I'm just gonna double down. Like, I've heard that it's not likely that Ultra picks an Executioner, but I'm gonna just double down because the worst thing that could happen, I'm wrong. You know.
All
Okay.
right, Vader. I love being right. So.
It's okay. I was right last time, so I gotta be fair and let you have one.
You were
All
right
right.
last time. You were right last time.
I mean, the you know, what's it? The light shines on a dog's ass at least once a day. I mean, that's kind of. You know.
The broken clock is right twice a day or something.
Vader's like fair.
Fair,
I
fair.
mean, yeah, it happens. I mean, that's a fact, 100%. So we do see the offerings that we should see, and let's go ahead and review how the survivors are going to try to survive against whoever this is, because we don't know. But yeah, let's see. The survivors will be trying to finish the gens, of course, and after finishing the gens, those escapes will definitely be worth more points. As you're noticing, these gens only add up to 9 points if you finish all of them. The escapes, if you can get all 4 escapes, would add up to 17 available points, depending on how many hook states you have when you get out of the trial. So for sure, protect your friends and get out. Like that's always the goal in Dead by Daylight, but even more so, this is playoffs, yo. You want to get to the championship? Do it right here, right now. And we're loading in right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and hand it back off to Shep and Q.
Like right now. All
Like
right,
right now,
another,
and we see a blight.
Trip back into the fog, and we are going to see a curveball here. Y'all had thought about, might not be seeing a blight here. I think a lot of people agree, maybe not the best map for blight, but you know what? I have a feeling that our killer here has a ultra firm grip on the blight.
That was painful. And Blight coming out with, we did see a Blight earlier today. I actually saw a Blight twice, and we are seeing completely different add-ons this time.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Blighted Crow with the compound, which is interesting because I feel like the middle part of the map doesn't offer too much collision where you don't have good line of sight, right?
Yeah, I think it's really difficult, but I think it will give Ultra a leg up in these jungle gym areas, or these areas where he does have stuff to quiet off of, in ending chases faster before they can get pulled into that middle area. And of course, he's gonna bounce off the hook anyway, it matters.
Well, unfortunately, not going to be able to make a connection with the cane here to the back of Paige. Paige now working with his filler pallet. That's in the front of main. That is now going to be a down, though. At this point, 1 survivor down. We have seen a gen pop off in the distance. We do have a gen covered thanks to the deadlock here. Trying to see if we can get another health state change. I understand the thought process because you've got that banana phobia here and you would like to get additional slowdown, but I don't think you want to risk getting slowdown at the jeopardization of losing a hook, right?
Yeah, definitely. As we've seen before, health states are not as important as hook states here, even though you kind of need one for the other. So Ultra's going to go ahead and toss Paige up on that hook and go and start looking for somebody else. A really quick unhook there.
All right, now going to be seeing, yeah, you mentioned the quick unhook, now moving through the main building here is Ultra getting to the backside here. This is Paige, though. You've been able to continue your tunnel out process. Not sure if this is our survivor here potentially that might have the decisive strike, but now going to be moving back into the main building. There's a window here that you might be able to make room with. Good player around actually the hanging pigs here that are kind of like extra targets that you could potentially be knocking into, but actually being able to continue the tracking down. Oh, and she slaps him with the D. Let's go.
Paige says, put me back down, and takes off running. Hopefully she can buy herself some time. She's going to get a nice pallet stun there at Shack as her teammates finish another generator.
Yeah, that's going to be generator number 2, still searching for a hook number 2. Now working in this back corner back here amongst those hay bales that Vader was talking about earlier. Don't think you're going to be able to make any distance, though. That's going to be a down back here by the Shack, which also happens to have the basement.
It's going to be a nice second hook for Ultra. He can kind of not have to risk losing a hook if they aren't able to get Paige out of the basement, which, if he got the generation with less hooks, is going to be nice for him.
Yeah, we are going to see not going to be able to find a connection with Moody here. Now, Moody is going to be retreating from this generator. We are going to be seeing those sparks there. That's going to be that pop goes the weasel. Ultra does have the ability to earn 25% regression with each concurrent hook that they're able to achieve here. But we are going to see the save across the way here as well.
In response, Ultra is going to head back to the Shack, knowing that he has a survivor ready to be removed from the trial. There are only 2 generators left, so Demice is doing a really good job of trying to catch up and get all of these gens out of the way before they lose Paige. And a really fast reset to help keep her on her feet. Good on them for trying to protect her and keep her in this game as long as possible.
Yeah, and unfortunately not able to find connection as far as for our collision here, so gonna need a very quick reset, but nice play here. Oh, but even better play by Paige to be able to avoid the M1. This is very, very valuable time for Demise here. To be able to try and crank out these last 2 gens. Of course, we have already taken the decisive strike. Don't have to worry about that here. That is now going to be an elimination. I can't help but wonder how close we are to seeing a 4th, if not a 5th gen pop.
This sounds quite progressed, but we do know that Ultra has that lovely pop goes the weasel, so it's going to knock that down 25%. However, nobody's currently injured, so there is going to be no thanatophobia value until now.
Yeah, of course, with the sacrifice there. Now at least you do get the 5% slowdown here. No pop goes the weasel, though, as far as on the dry kick onto this generator right there. That's going click-clack like an old-school Cadillac. But we are going to be now moving into the main building here. Going to see if we can try and continue chasing down Moody, maybe be able to secure down this would be a fresh hook, which could be big because then maybe you can still secure 1 additional fresh hook and at least tamp that person into an elimination in the end game. Here's Moody going down, and if you can get Moody down next to this generator that has this much progress, that's also next to a door, this could actually be really big for Ultra.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a comfortable place to be sitting. Of course, you kind of want to see him get a few more hook states on other survivors, and I think Ultra's feeling the same. So he's going to take off and go looking for another target, and he will find French Fry here by this rather progressed generator.
Yeah, so we do know that we do now have 2 generators that are currently in play that have a 4th piston with some progress on them. So at this point, it really just is a matter of time before we see our survivors being able to make a play for the exit doors. Oh, get stunned, stupid, says French Fry, as they're able to drop plus 10 wood to the face here. We are also going to be seeing the 5th generator pop. You'll also notice the lack of a no one escapes death, no haste status there on the right side of your screen. There's a door that's kind of close to where we're at here, but also keep in mind there's a door across the way. So I believe we are just going to be seeing our survivors take the 2 out. And I think one of those, the Nancy, is a fresh hook.
Would it be correct? IKEA has not been hooked yet, so honestly, I would just take this 2 out and not risk any more hook states going to Ultra here, but we did see the reset, so it could be possible we're going to see them try to come in and get the 3 out.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think if you are Demice, knowing that you're in a little bit of a deficit here, I understand wanting to take the risk, right? Because the 3rd escape is a whole whopping 4 points. So even if you happen to exchange a hook here and then still get the escape, you're still positive 2 points, right? So we have that bit. Oh,
in the dead hard. Unfortunate that French fry. They were waiting just long enough for him to be able to get that deliverance, and unfortunately, even with a nice dead hard, French fry wasn't able to get quite far enough away to buy himself any time.
Guys, I don't understand why we're not picking up though. DS has already been used. I think that French fry forgot, but
dog, my homie Ultra's got D PTSD. All right, so leave him alone. He's just trying to make sure that the forehead doesn't get any more slaps tonight. All right.
I mean, I guess so, Q. I guess so.
Look,
really
you're
big
gonna tell
brain
me
moves.
that the guy from the Lipton T meme doesn't look back over his shoulder every time he's in line at the gas station? Nah, this is what we're
Wait.
seeing right here. Just worried about it.
Did you say Lipton tea? Do you mean twisted tea, my friend?
Same freaking shit. Whatever.
You got to get your reference right, all right? No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's a good point, though. I mean, I think this is just kind of like you're seeing like the normal habits that you get. Yeah, like yeah, this is a comp scene, but it's kind of the normal thing. You know that person just got a hook. You know that there's a potential for a DS, even though like that you've already seen a D from somebody. You're just kind of like the natural tendencies because, you know, blood points on killer side, bro.
Sometimes it is better to play it safe rather than sorry. But that will be Ultra with a 2K. Not the best performance we've seen from a Blight, but from a Blight on Rancid Abattoir, not a bad performance. This is not an easy map to play Blight on.
Yeah, and I mean, you figure at this point, Demise still vibing with an 11-point lead, basically at halftime here. So I would agree, maybe not the most, the best result that you would hope to get from a Blight, but I don't think you can be mad at the results thus far.
I would agree. I don't think you can be mad at it at all. I think the decision to bring Blight makes sense. You get a little bit of extra practice before going into the trials and the finals, right? Like maybe I realize that's not the best map for him, right? But you're at least getting more reps with using the power to Blight, just going, all right, I mean, let me make sure that my hug techs are on point, make sure all of everything's good to go. Like maybe.
So Shep, now that we've seen Blight, who do you expect us to see here?
Well, so considering that Demise is still sitting pretty comfortably in the lead, I don't know if, I mean, so like we were talking about previously, this is a good chance to try things out in preparation for potentially going to the finals. So we could see maybe if Ultra wants to experiment with some add-ons for Spirit. Again, the add-ons we saw for Blight are not the ones we usually see. And I wonder at this point if that was Ultra experimenting with kind of different add-ons, seeing what he likes the best. So maybe we get a higher tier killer here just for that purpose. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see maybe one of our A tier, like lower A tier killers either.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say that Ultra is going to choose another killer that is okay on this map, but maybe not the most advantageous, just to flex a little bit. So I'm gonna say Hunty with the corn blindness. Yep.
Just got to keep in mind that like our killer pool does reset, right? Like heading into the finals. So I mean, really everything being on the table, and I mean, Ultra's really shown a very, very diverse killer pool thus far through the season.
Yes. Very versatile.
Well, guys, it didn't take long at all, but we are getting ready to go into the next match. So we saw all the offerings we're supposed to see. We've reviewed killer and survivor rules. Let's talk about what they are and aren't allowed to bring. Well, we'll talk about what they're allowed. We'll talk about both. All right, so yellow items and add-ons for our survivors, and only one of each perk and item, with the exception of BT. You can have 2 of those. But we do have several banned perks as well within Vigo's court, including Built to Last, Prove Thyself, Starstruck, Haunted Ground, The Boons, and Clairvoyance. And hey, guess what? We got a match, so let's go. Oh, hey, there's my executioner.
We are going to see the back to, we are going to see it essentially run it back to the same one from game one, right, Shep?
Yep, we are going to see the Executioner coming out to play. Not a bad pick for this map, honestly. And again, Demise is kind of in a place where they are sitting a little comfortably with points. Ultra just needs to do well enough to keep the lead here.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about currently sitting at a 13-point lead. It looks like we might be able to find ourselves a down here very, very quickly as well. That is going to be a totem getting cleansed off in the distance. That is going to be the ruin. Of course, that's the risk you run when you run ruin. Sometimes it lasts 45 seconds. Sometimes it lasts 4 to 5 minutes. And this time, I actually don't even think it lasted 45 seconds.
A very quick, I feel like the survivor spawned right on top of that totem there.
Guys, I want to talk about real quick the difference we're seeing from this pyramid head from the first one, though. Did you notice how Ultra went ahead, dragged the spaghetti halfway through the pallet and sat there blocking it? That's definitely very different from when we saw French Fry playing it, trying to pull that almost like a prediction shot and not getting it. So this is definitely a good difference.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if the continued work, maybe that just kind of shows a little bit more understanding as far as how the pyramid head works. And we are going to be forcing French Fry into the basement here by showing the rights of judgment potentially being used, but instead working into the pallet space and kind of similarly working more than halfway into the pallet space, trying to work around the longer tile that we are sitting in here. Good body block to be able to prevent the pallet from being dropped as well. Quentin now moving towards the TNL here, and not exactly the safest of pallets. Nice mind game though by Ultra to secure the down.
And we will see our first cage of the match. Interesting to see a cage coming in so soon, but this also saves Ultra a little bit of time. He can go ahead. Not that he needs it right now. We haven't seen a gen pop just yet, but this saves him a little bit of time, and he can go ahead and start patrolling his generators.
We are going to see that sound notification over here at Cowtree as well. Lets us know that that is where we saw. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. That's going to be a down here now on to French Fry. And of course, even though they just did get out of a cage, no decisive strike available. So that is now going to be a second stage forced here onto French Fry. Hook stage number 3. All together, and we have yet to see a gen pop.
I think this is really the difference in how you have to play Pyramid Head. You have to be really precise with how and when you're getting injured states, and the methods employed therein.
And we've been able to find the Nia back here. That's now going to be an M1 on to Moody, who was trying to lie in the shadows there, go for an easy save. That's now not going to be possible. And with this survivor, French Fry, being close to death and now having an injured survivor elsewhere within the trial, would not be surprised to see our 2 additional fully healthy survivors needing to get off their gens and rotate over, which means minimal gen work getting done.
We do see, despite that, our first generator popping off in the distance, we do see a healthy Paige trying to come in and get the unhook, and she is successful in saving French Fry, but she will trade for it. However, that is also a second generator popping for Demise.
Yeah, it's a second generator off in the distance, but we see Ultra showing some patience here, waiting out the borrowed time. Now going to be going for the M2, placing a little bit by the window here. This should be able to get back around to the pallet. Not going to be able to find a connection onto French Fry there with the rights, or sorry, with the punishment of the damned, I should say. I almost feel like we might have been able to take a shot towards the doorway here at this point. French Fry working around the long wall now at the jungle gym, should be able to make it back to the pallet, showing a lot of patience. But that's now going to be a down.
However, that was plenty of time for Paige. Oh, we got wall blocked from the final judgment there. That is plenty of time for Demise to get Paige back up on her feet and out of that danger area. So now we have 3 survivors, 3 healthy survivors somewhere on the map, and Ultra's gonna have to find them.
Yeah, we are going to see generator number 3 here getting done. So that at least gives us a little bit of information as far as where this survivor wasn't going to be able to interrupt that survivor, unfortunately. I mean, it's not like we really have a pop goes the weasel in play here or anything like that. That would have been a benefit, but it still would have been able to be nice, especially because we are going to probably be eventually seeing a down here heading towards the pallet. Nice M2 here. You might even say that was an ultra sweet shot to be able to secure the down, and that is going to be another hook number 2, one step closer to this survivor also being removed.
And Ultra doing a really good job of securing those hook states. However, Demice is doing their damnedest to try to get these generators, and they're doing a really good job. They had a slow start, but they now have 4 gens done. They are, of course, short French fry, and being in chase with Paige means somebody else, means Moody's going to have to rotate over to get IKEA off the hook. So there is probably no progress being made on any generators right this second.
Yeah, and things are going to be tough. I mean, at least you do know that the generator that had the most progress is going to be covered up by that deadlock here for at least a little bit. We do... Wow, that was really good vision. I didn't even see them there for a second. There's going to be generator number 5 getting complete across the way. Going to be seeing the M2, which is not going to be finding a connection here on to Moody. We also exposed most of the perks for the build. We also saw a sound notification though across the way. That's going to be that no way out with 2 stacks of that. That is going to be 36 seconds. Almost 2/3 of that has been expired here at this point. Now going to be seeing Moody going up onto his shoulder, and this hook's going to be relatively far away from some doors.
Yeah, we're kind of bringing it closer to this door in the back here, but it's still going to be dangerous, especially with Paige being tormented right now. If she gets downed before she can get the unhook, she's gonna be in a dangerous position where she can be caged. Actually, is Paige on death hook?
I am trying to remember.
No, Paige doesn't get hooked at all, so...
No, Paige was just the one that went down earlier, right, when we had the slug.
Yeah, so if Paige is still tormented and gets downed, she can be caged and then just tunneled out, because as we've seen, the cages do deny the unhooking perks, and if she gets caged here, she's probably gonna get sent far away from the doors.
Yeah, and I mean, this is definitely, I mean, a tough situation to be in here for Demise, because it's kind of like last trial, like, right? Like, you would really like to get the extra points for that 3rd escape, but I don't know if it's worth trading for any potential additional hook states. So we do see they are going to take the 2 out across the way. It looks like they cut into the lead. No, they were only down by 11 heading into that trial, right? So actually it looks like Demise able to extend the lead just a little bit more, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, they extended their lead by 3 points is what you'll see. And honestly, I'll go ahead and say it was really good to see Ultra there in the beginning get that hook in the non-corrupt zone. And we kind of saw Ultra hold that same side, all the hooks kind of happening on that side. That's kind of exactly what you wanted if you're Ultra. The other side of the map was corrupt when you had that early down, and it really allowed you to have a lot of early pressure.
So now going to be heading into the 3rd and final, the 4th and final. Jeez Louise. Look, it's been a long day of competitive DVD for your boy, all right? Going to be heading, though, into the 4th trial. 16 points, a tall task, but it's not unheard of, right? But what I think with 16 points going into the killer trial, I think that means you need a 4K, pretty well a 12 hook perfect game at like 1 gen still left standing. Does that sound about right, Vader?
No, that sounds like you scored a lot more. Because, well, actually, no, you might be right. Let's see. So
because
Killer
the survivors got the lead
points
right now, right?
Yep.
So
Killer can score 30 points. We're sitting at 16 point difference right now. So you can allow the survivors to score 14 points. But that's if you got a perfect game. So if you get a 4K, I think that's the only thing. Because of course, if you get the gens done, that's only 9 points. So if they get the 4K, they're fine. Or if they had 11 hooks, maybe don't get the 4K, that would mean they would
only one hook escapes though. Like it's you have to let like 1 or 2 hooks escape, and if it's 2 hooks, it's got to be the same player even.
Well, you can't let 2 people escape at all. I was thinking a 3K where he maybe has 1 hook state and you can still hooks. Like tie it. Like an 11 hook game is what I'm talking about. 11 hook state game. It's tough. It's gonna be tough. But I mean, actually, I think I'm adding it up in my head. I think a 10 hook state game can actually still tie it. I mean, obviously,
but no blight available. That's one thing to keep in mind, right? Like Demice used that. They used that Thursday.
Yeah. And they don't have Executioner. They could bring Huntress. They could bring Twins. I mean, they can bring Spirit. Spirit actually, honestly, I'm surprised. Can I say I'm surprised we haven't seen a Spirit? Because if anyone runs through that corn, I don't know about you guys, but you ever notice you run through corn and the corn just kind of splits where you're at, kind of giving away your location? Seems like a pretty good thing you can utilize for a Spirit game.
I do think, however, a lot of people have struggled with the changes to Spirit, which were not very recently anymore. It's been quite a while since that happened. But that being said, I think with the changes and how you had to kind of drastically change your playstyle with Spirit, I think a lot of people were like, I don't want to bother with it. I think a lot of people didn't bother to make the transition over to learning how to play her as she is now. And I think that's why we're seeing less Spirit in general, really. Like, people have other options, so they don't want to put the work it takes to relearn a killer that they were pretty comfortable with already, if they were at all. You might as well just focus on other things that you've already kind of learned and just master those instead.
While that's fair, though, like, when you're in a position like this, and again, like, when you have to follow this up, right? Like, who are you going to bring? Q, who else do you bring? If not now, if you're not bringing Spirit now, who are you bringing to come back right here? Can't bring Nurse.
Can't bring Nurse. Imagine though. No, you know, this is going to, I know, sound very different from what we said in the beginning, but knowing that we're in a very stiff situation here, as far as you pretty much just gotta get the 4K. Hear me out here. What if we see some Plague? You bring out the amulet so you get the 20% extra duration on your corrupt. You bring in your yellow apples so you have 2 extra corrupted pools at the beginning. You spend the first couple minutes, you can get some people sick, and then just have like a nice little snowball after that, you know? Thank you.
Plague could be an option. We've seen some really good performances with her in our season previously. This isn't too large a map, so I don't know if she would struggle so much, and of course her power can go over the corn.
I see you deep in thought, Vader. What are you thinking over there?
I'm trying to think if I think Plague can cause Demise to crumble, right? Because Demise is one of those teams that has just been so good at not rushing a game, at not like they just haven't played poorly against like any killer, with the exception of like Ultra walking into random traps versus Trapper. But like they've just played well versus every killer, so they slow down the game and everything. I don't know that Plague does it, because I just think that they'll cleanse, they'll force Plague into her power, and they're confident enough that they won't go down, or they'll just be too far away from each other for her to really have that much value. That's how I feel. Thoughts, Shep?
Someone's saying hag in chat, and honestly, Paige strong hag. No, I think, yeah, so Plague can be really strong, but it is kind of really easy to counterplay her, especially in experienced teams such as Demise. So I don't know if that's the safest bet here. I think she could be strong. I don't think this is the team you bring her against. Honestly, if I'm in this position, Spirit's probably the best bet that they have.
I think that's what you have to do, and obviously we'll see what French Fry chooses to do. I mean, heck, for all I know, he might bring Wraith. I mean, I wouldn't, but who knows? But yeah, for sure we will see all the offerings we're supposed to see, so we'll find out who he brings here. But I'm doubling down on the Spirit. It sounds like you're with me on that, Shep. Q, it sounds like you're with Plague, so we'll see. But let's review some penalty rules real quick. So, guys, we haven't seen any penalties thus far, nor do we want to see any penalties. But if there is a match that has a penalty, it could be restarted, it could be played out, sometimes both. Just kind of depends on what occurs. But if you do bring two of the same survivor, a banned perk, item, or add-on, that would be -5 points with a possible restart. But if you do bring us to the wrong map, that is an auto restart, -5 points. Definitely never do anything on the following list, because that's -10 points per offense, no restart available. If you do use an exhausted killer, that is an auto restart with -10 points as well. And we don't want to see anyone delay the game, which haven't had that problem today. Let's go ahead and go into the match. Q, Shep, take it away.
So we are going to step into Trial 4, the last trial between us and who's going to our finals. And we called it. It is a Spirit French Fry is coming out with the lady herself, and we've already found scratch marks pretty early on, so this is a good start for him. We do see a hex totem there. No idea what it is just yet. Ooh.
You know, Shep, I must admit, you were right. Being the only person on the desk of 3 people to anticipate a Spirit play, you were the lone person that happened to predict this right. So GG's to you, my friend. We do see, though, taking the chase with Ultra around the L wall. Not sure if you're actually able to make it to the vault just in time. We do also see, though, right here back behind us, that was a glowy totem. That is going to be that ruin that we do have in play. There's going to be the down, though, now at this point on the Ultra. Rather fast, quick. Don't know if it was quite an ultra fast down, but 60 seconds into the trial, and that's going to be hook number 1.
Pain. A very quick hook for French Fry here. So far, able to put down a lot of pressure, pushing somebody off of this mid-gen. And of course, because of that ruin, it is going to immediately start regressing. And this is actually a pretty nice place for French Fry to be sitting. He's kind of in the middle. He's got his totem right here. He can push people off, come back, guard his hook and his totem at the same time.
Yeah, going to be interesting. You talked about that. Pretty much dead middle of the map is where we have our hook here. There's going to be the unhook across the way. We do know that this generator in main building had a lot of progress on it at one point in time. There it is. Go ahead and getting the pop onto that bad boy. And the pop, I do mean the generation coming complete. There is going to be the ruin getting cleansed across the way, though. So that does, however, mean whenever we have people getting off of gens now, in order for those gens to start regressing, they will require a kick.
Yep, with it's now going to take a little bit more effort for French Fry to get those gens regressing at this point. We are going to see him start chasing with Q-Top here, heading towards the shack. Q-Top trying to lose French Fry in the corn, but French Fry not really falling for it.
And that is now going to be a second M2. We have 2 injured survivors currently in the trial, 1 hook to show for it. It also, as you look around, you will see, of course, the corrupt has expired on those gens quite a little bit ago. So it does mean our team can really start splitting up and spreading the pressure all the way across the board, not just on one half of the map or the other. We hear a little bit of pressure past 25%, not quite the 50 on this generator behind us. We are seeing, though, a full complete across the board, all 4 healthy survivors.
And this is a good place for Demise to be sitting. French Fry's having a little bit of trouble finding a survivor over here, so hopefully that means that the others are off on the other side of the map doing those generators. We will find, I guess patience pays off. We do see Ultra here. Actually, not Ultra, my bad. We do find another survivor here, though, who is, I think, waiting to get back on this generator.
Yeah, that is Sleepy J there. And, you know, I understand that we aren't quite that far into the new rift, so I am going to let this detective tap pass by not wearing the cool new white fedora. But I do got to say here, if another week passes, we're going to have to see that. Otherwise, we're going to start docking some points. We are going to see, though, coming over here, finding this pallet, double back over the vault itself. This is a corner where there is the 1 gen, but you'll see across the way kind of a 3 gen situation. I mean, you can consider that with this corner too. They've knocked out the 2 most middle gens, so, or the 1 most middle gen. I thought we had a 2nd gen complete. Actually, saying that we don't have a 2nd gen complete, that really leads me to believe that Demise, with an S, is spreading across multiple gens. We might see 2, if not 3 gens popping pretty quickly.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. This generator that we've just pushed Q-top off have had a ton of progress on it, and it would make sense for somebody to come by and pick it up. There goes our 2nd generator. There are now only 3 generators left, and we've only seen 1 hook stay.
Yeah, I think right now, I mean, what we're seeing is Demise kind of showing what we've seen from them consistently throughout the season, not just in our qualifier tournament and preseason, but really throughout the season itself. I mean, even having some very convincing wins against some of our other undefeated teams at some point in the season, like Arctic Wolves. We do hear this generator that is covered by the deadlock, that actually just got uncovered by the deadlock, has a lot of progress. Plus 10 wood added to the face of French Fry here by Ultra, who's going to be building a little bit of extra distance here. Now moving towards the cow tree, has a little bit of distance, but we do see it getting closed in by the Spirit. Nice body block, though, by Super Aaron Nova to prolong this chase.
Really nice block there to keep this going. That's going to be really crucial for our survivors as they pop yet another gen. These gens are just flying.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that the 4th gen was not the gen that was covered up by deadlock last time, right? In that corner, basically over French Fry's shoulder at this point. The one that's currently covered. That thing had a 4th piston moving and a whole lot of progress on it. I would anticipate less than 7 seconds needed on it. Ooh, nice job to avoid the swing. That's just a little bit of extra time taken, a little bit of nodders from French Fry here, though, as they do confirm the hook state. That is going to be generator number 5 getting cleansed across the way. Sheesh, Demise crushing these gens out.
It's crazy too. That's only the 2nd hook state of the game, guys, and that they've both been on Ultra. Everybody else is fresh. And I don't know. I would say that the slowdown we saw in the mid game, it could have been that the survivors were just trying to 99 all of the gens, but it also could have been they might have expected a no-ed on the Spirit and might have been cleansing some of those bones.
I think that is a very fair assumption to make. We have seen no-ed come clutch several times, so I think... we do see CBJ coming in for the, or being body blocked to try and get the out here on Ultra. And I'm wondering if we're going to see a repeat of the Deliverance play we saw earlier.
I don't know here. I mean, we do see the people over. Oh, but Ultra slaps him with the D. They're on death hook. There are 2 survivors that are between right now where French Fry is at, as well as the door. We see French Fry going into the phase walk. This is your last chance. You have 1 shot. What? Oh, firework! What is this?
Firecracker blind, and that will be a 4 out for Demise. Oh no. That is absolutely tragic. Very calculated on Ultra's part to go ahead and take that down, knowing that he had that decisive strike.
I don't.
He was in a state of shock.
I don't know what I just watched. That was impressive to line up for the door. You thought that they were giving it up, and instead the decisive strike. Okay. I don't want to inflate any egos, but does that mean that was the ultra decisive? That was the ultra D?
I have to leave now. Oh my god.
I don't know what to say. Like, what did we just witness?
We expected a really exciting gameplay, and Demise delivered, as they have this entire season. And it looks like we have a Q-Top joining us in the interrogation room. How are you doing today, Q-Top?
Hello, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm still recovering, honestly. I'm
all in a bit of a state of shock after that incredible end game. Fucking tanks.
I reattached my jaw, but my entire psyche is broken. My goodness, like, I honestly, when Ultra came in for the body block while injured, I'm like, he's got DS. Like, that's what's gonna happen here. But I was like, but the timing might be off. I don't know that he gets DS off.
See, yeah. I thought we were just giving away, we were trading points there. I thought it was literally just because he was death hook. You're like, this is the last hook. It's not a big deal. You get more escape points the other way, and instead, that was impressive.
We like. Normally we've seen Ultra run DS, right? Like Ultra's almost always run DS. So I was like,
actually, he doesn't really ever run it.
Really?
That's
we
why
saw
we
him
put
last
it on
game,
him.
or not
He
last
didn't
game,
have it
but
last game. The last Survivor game I had it. Me and him swapped.
Yeah.
And we also put Toolbox on him to even further bait it.
Good gracious. Like,
it was calculated all the way from the lobby.
Yeah, because like I wanted to say, like, one of the previous weeks I had seen Ultra run DS, and I was like, all right, that was a good move, because it seems like people want to tunnel Ultra. And so like when I was seeing like the tunnel happen on Ultra this time, I'm like, he's probably not going to use DS. He'll use it like on the death hook, maybe. Right here, he's trying to body block, maybe. But man, I didn't expect it to go like that. And who dropped the firecracker? Who was that?
That was Aaron.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Good lord.
It was a whole sequence of events. It was very clean. I'll say that. It was a lot of fun. That end game was a ton of fun.
My entire being is in a state of shock. Q, ask some questions, because I can't.
So we saw you guys come out here, and you guys were able to come to an early decision here. Had a very impressive performance, but we saw Death Wish do the same thing earlier today. So do you feel, is there, after watching Death Wish's performances, did that put a little bit of worry into the back of you guys' mind, or do you guys just kind of feel like, hey, as long as we're in our bag, there's no one that can stop us?
I'm personally not too worried about it, and I don't think any of the other guys are. I mean, we've known Deathwish for a long time. I've personally never gotten the chance to play against Osaka, so I'm really excited if he's playing for them. But yeah, I mean, it's just another day, another tourney. You know, we're not too stressed out about it. We'll come back on whenever that game is. I'm not sure when it is, but come back and play that just as confident as we have all season against every team. So.
I think that's fair. I mean, from what you guys just did, the momentum you have from that game right there that you're taking in to the final verdict. Oh yeah. I think that's enough to give you a little bit of an adrenaline high, get you up on your high horse. Just make sure that you don't get your knees taken out from under you by Death Wish in the first match, okay?
well, we got it on lock. We're all right.
All right. Like, good Lord. Definitely, you guys have come out and done very well. And it's not often that we see you guys have any hiccups, like on Survivor side or Killer side. And today, you definitely didn't. You guys came out and very early on were like, yeah, well, we're going to take the lead. And we're not giving the lead up. And we're just going to keep on going, all right? Like, this is just business as usual.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a ton of fun playing with these guys. That's why I always try to push for me being in the lineup on Vigo's nights, because none of us are really on a team together anymore. We all kind of split up and went our separate ways, so this is the only tournament that we all actually get to play together in. So it's always a ton of fun playing with all of them.
New question. Do you come back with this team for the next season?
I am not. I don't know what their plans are.
Look, if y'all win, you got to come back and defend the ship, right?
I was about to say, I'm like, hey, if y'all win this championship, I'm just saying, this can't just be the last hurrah. Like, you know, we're Raiders of the Lost Ark. We found it. Bury that shit. We're good. Like,
I'm
gonna head out.
Really exciting is if they all came back on different teams, and then it's like, well,
they're a champion, but they're a champion.
One of them has to take it from the others.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
just
true.
kind of good to be like, okay, well, like, yeah, our team won last year, but I'm the best one. So get fucked, losers.
Yeah, I don't know what what everybody's plans are. I'm gonna be with Astray, which is Wispy and all of them. That's my main team right now.
Which I believe we've seen them sign up for Vigos, if I'm not mistaken, for next season.
Yep, we're signed up for next season. I don't know if Demise is staying together as a core like right now.
I don't think it's Demise, but Vader.
There's a little birdie in my ear telling me that Demise has signed up for the next season.
Oh, I thought it was under Deity. Are they sticking under the Demise name?
They might for Vigos. They might. I'm not sure. It's kind of just up to them, to be honest. I don't know what they're. Because I know
the Demise name.
Midas, Ultra, Jake are all over on Odyssey, and then Deity, Demise, Lore moments. We were all over the Aaron, GPU. All of them were on Deity, but now I'm with Astray. I don't know if they're keeping Demise or they're coming in as Odyssey. I don't know what their plans are, but they'll be in here just under one of those names, maybe split up into two. I'm not sure.
So I see. So Demise will be coming back and may have most of the same familiar faces. Q-Top is just going to his main squeeze and then gonna try to come take the championship back. I see.
And then be like, nah.
So here. This is a Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay kind of thing, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Exactly.
Greatest of all time, right here, Vader. Come on, baby.
I got you. You over here saying I'm the GOAT. Let's go. Hey, but I'm just gonna say, Ultra's the one up for the MVP award right now.
Ultra's a warlord, but just wait for Astray. That's all I gotta say. We got a little wispy. We got a little wispy next season, you know?
Okay.
Ultra's a GOAT, though. Ultra's a GOAT.
Q-Top saying Ultra's a GOAT, but hold on. Put some respect on our name. Astray gonna come in and take the whole thing. All right. We'll be watching closely. All right. Well, do you have any final comments you want to give to the fans of Demise, fans of Q-Top, fans of Vigo's Court, or to your opponents?
Obviously, this same as always. Thank you guys all for coming out and supporting us and Vigos. It's always a joy to play in here. Yeehaw, go Demise. Nicole, if she's in there, if she's in chat, I'm not sure. But yeehaw. GG's to Demice. Obviously, they're very close friends of ours. It's always fun playing against them. But yeah, just thank you guys as always for all the support.
For sure. And hey, guess what? That means that the final verdict, we know who's in the final verdict. We know who's there. It's Demise and it's Deathwish.
With an S.
Yes, Demise. Yes, the battle of pronunciation has been won. This is forever going to be known as the battle of pronunciation. Demise wins. All right.
Can I motion for reconsideration?
Nope. Order in the court. Demise is convicted of murder. Demise with an S. Demise.
Dictator.
Order in the court.
Vader's
There we
a
go.
dictator.
Well, you know what? I'm the judge, and it's my courtroom, and I said order in the court. We see Demise convicted of murder. It is decided. All right. We'll see you guys next weekend, guys, for the final verdict. Court's adjourned.
4 p.m. Catch y'all there. Peace.